Hey guys, what's up? Sermo11 here, and today I am going to be doing my predictions for the Pokemon Presents for 2026. Now, this is the 30th anniversary of the Pokemon franchise. Pokemon is getting quite old, and I wanted to just kind of discuss what I think is going to happen. I feel like usually each year I predict kind of the same things, so this might be a little similar to the list from last year. I don't know. I didn't watch the video before this. So with that out of the way, let's just kind of get into it. So I made a list, and I'll just be going through the list. That'll make it easy. So just kind of getting the big thing out of the way. Obviously, there is going to be some sort of information on Pokemon Generation 10. Now, I'm expecting a trailer. Maybe not gameplay, but the starters and like a few like short videos of the region or something of the new main characters. They can do a variety of Pokemon Directs or Pokemon Presents throughout the year, but they don't really seem to do those a lot. So I'm expecting some information here. Maybe a second Pokemon Presents. Maybe closer to November or at the halfway point of the year, and also information in a Nintendo Direct. Some people think that Pokemon's not in a Nintendo Direct. I was listening to people saying that, and I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Actually, that's not true. Pokemon does come to Nintendo Directs. It doesn't happen all the time, but I definitely could see that happening just to spread the word about Generation 10. And I do believe Generation 10 is coming out this year. Some people think it's coming out next year, which is kind of crazy because it's been 4 years, or it'll be 4 years in November since Scarlet and Violet. So it's definitely been a while. It's time for a new generation. I know I play Pokemon games fairly fast. Legends Z actually took a while, just because there's a lot of content in that game, so that game actually took a while. But Scarlet and Violet I beat in 8 days. Arceus I beat in 8 days. Haven't done that recently, but for the Scarlet and Violet DLC, it didn't take too long. It might have been like 10 hours each or something like that. So nothing too crazy. So, I need more Pokemon content. Legends ZA was great, but I would imagine at this point, you would be done with the game. But some people, they play games slowly, so they're not done yet. Now, there's a lot of Pokemon leaks because they got hacked and everything, and the information's out there. So unfortunately, some of that information I have seen, not really like seeking it out, but people make articles on it. They'll gladly put it in a title. So I've seen some of that. So I'm not going to get too deep into Generation 10, but hopefully it's good. I don't really think it would be disappointing, but these days people have such negative mindsets on Pokemon. Now the next one is kind of unlikely. A Let's Go remake. I was kind of thinking like Let's Go would also become like a remake series, so we would get Let's Go Togepi and Let's Go Pichu, and I don't know, I think that would be cool. I wasn't the biggest fan of Let's Go, but I have played Pokemon Go more since playing Let's Go, so maybe I'll enjoy it more. It's like, oh, this is just like the game, you can throw the ball like that, all that, or like a regular remake. I don't think that's happening, just because we're getting a new generation. They're not going to put out a remake before a generation, I would say. So maybe like a remake next year or something. I think at a point, they're probably just going to stop because like, just play it or just port the game. I think at the most, it would be up until Generation 6. Where they could change the models, make them, regular size and everything. And then if they were to like bring back Generation 7, it would just be like a remaster because there's no reason to remake it, in my opinion. So, Black and White remakes, I don't know if those are coming. I'm thinking they're going to do something ambitious and do Black and Black and White 2 together. Because there's no other way to do it. Because like you wouldn't put out Black and White and then wait another generation and put out a Black and White 2 remake like 4 years later or something like that. It sounds kind of crazy. So that's kind of like my prediction if that were to happen at some point. Pokemon Adventures. I don't think this is ever going to happen because they don't seem to like to promote the manga. I do not understand. I feel like the most the manga gets promoted or seen is around Pokemon Day sometimes. Just sometimes. I feel like the main Pokemon account sometimes tweets out like, oh, there's a new volume of Scarlet and Violet out, because they don't, I don't think they cover like side games. I don't think Arceus got a series. I don't know why the Pokemon manga is so slow. It might be monthly, but it would be cool if they could just maybe have the writer work on 2 different series and then have someone else draw it. I don't know if that's too much pressure on a writer, but you know, some writers do multiple series at once. So I would love to see a Pokemon Adventures anime series, and I think it would help spread the word out there. I just don't like that, like, it seems like we only have the main Pokemon anime. I know they do those shorts on YouTube, and that's cool and everything, but sometimes releasing stuff on YouTube, it feels like less legitimate as like part of the franchise if it's not like released anywhere else. Like, these aren't on like Netflix or something, they're just on YouTube. So it's like, oh, these are short series, doesn't really matter, you don't have to watch them. I've read, I wouldn't say a lot because Pokemon Adventures is long, but I've read like at least like one of the sagas, and I really enjoyed it. So I think it would be cool if that got an anime just to be more acknowledged, and also just promote the manga. Why aren't you promoting the manga? Why are you making a manga but not promoting it? It's kind of like Avatar. Like, if you guys like Avatar: Last Airbender, did you know there's novels, there's comics and stuff like that? It's so weird. You have to like seek out that information. Like, I'm sure some people just don't know that there are comics. They don't know that there are novels and stuff like that. And it's like, I know people that know it, but I feel like we're more like, you know, like the bigger fans. You know, some people, they might casually watch Avatar and they'd be like, oh, Avatar ended? Alright, I watched Korra ended, and I guess, you know, oh, there's a new series, Seven Havens, you know, like, there's content out there. Avatar has been consistently releasing content, but, you know, you might not be aware of it. Moving on to my next prediction, I am looking for a 3D Pokemon trading card game. I don't know if you guys have played the Shadowverse series. There's a Shadowverse game on Nintendo Switch, and it's kind of formatted like an anime. Like you're playing almost like playing an anime. Like, you're walking around, you have your own character, you're walking around a school and stuff like that. You're walking around a city, and then you're playing Shadowverse. I want a Pokemon game like that. For whatever reason, the trading card game has just been kind of like delegated to apps, which I'm sure make more money, but I would love just like a story to go alongside the Pokemon trading card game. I played the original like a year or two ago. It's okay, it's very dated, so I would love something updated. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh's not as big these days, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Puts out games for each generation, I believe. So they could do something like that. These days, I don't know how the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games are. I know they did a game for Brains, which went through the entire anime, but, you know, who knows how that would be. You know, it'd probably be like, you know, very like a Cliff Notes version of it, or they put out a what is it, the Sevens, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. They put out Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens game, and that I don't know if you walk around in that one or not. So, you know, it would be cool if Pokemon did something like that. I'm just saying, like, the Shadowverse game, I played the Shadowverse demo. I really enjoyed it. You know, it has voice acting. It's like an anime. Definitely would recommend checking it out if you have a Nintendo Switch. I don't know if it's on other systems, but yeah, just check it out. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It is time. It has been time for a new Mystery Dungeon. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is the biggest Pokemon side series, so I think it would make sense to at least bring this back and do a new entry. I think they should have been doing an entry per generation. I don't know if they were doing that before, but it seemed like that was kind of like what they were following, or, you know, every other generation or something. Make a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Please put these games out more consistently. I think it would be great. These games tend to have good stories, you know, sometimes better than the main stories. So, yeah, I'd like to see more of that. I know a few years ago they did a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon remake. I heard that didn't sell amazingly, So maybe that was kind of like disheartening and they just didn't put out more, because I imagine if it sold well, they'd be like, all right, let's remake Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. Or let's remake Time and Darkness, but let's put out Sky as DLC, you know. I'd be looking forward to that if they were to do that. Pokemon Ranger, I think this is unlikely to happen because like Pokemon Ranger just doesn't work without the stylus. I think they could include a stylus with the game and maybe that would increase the price a little bit. I don't know how much money it costs to make a stylus. Probably not that much, but I think it would be cool to see Pokemon Ranger. I saw someone saying like, oh, you can use the Nintendo Switch 2, the mouse controls as the stylus. I don't want to do that, and I just kind of feel like using the Joy-Cons over and over for mouse mode will probably deteriorate them, but I could be wrong. Maybe they don't deteriorate, but I think I saw someone's clothing or something had made like the Joy-Cons like blue or something because they were just like rubbing it on their jeans or something like that. I swear I saw that somewhere. So yeah, I think a Pokemon Ranger would be cool. Probably would have to change it. We're probably not going to be doing like 2D graphics anymore. It'll probably be like 3D, running around a 3D environment. Might change how you capture Pokemon, but maybe there's more exploration and stuff like that. I think it would be great. I like Pokemon Ranger. I didn't like the last game, but they could probably make it better. I don't think there's a new Pokemon Snap coming. A new Pokemon Snap. I liked new Pokemon Snap because I've never played the original. But after playing it, I enjoyed my time with it. I don't really want a second one. I'm sure there are people out there that they want a second one. They want more. I liked it. I wouldn't want to play it again. That's just how I feel. It was a good game. I just don't really want more of it. I think some things about it could have been changed, but I think I've talked about that before. There was like some weird thing where like there was like a rating system for the photos, and it was like a 1 to 4 star system, and you take a picture of a Pokemon. I think you only get 1 photo per run. So like if you want if you get a 4-star photo and you want a 1-star photo, you have to go through the area again. It was something like that made it like super tedious. So it's like, I'm not doing this. And I think there was like new Pokemon unlocked after you beat the game, and it was just kind of like, oh, okay, there's a few more Pokemon around. This isn't really enough for me to revisit environments. Now, if they had like a completely new environment, that would be cool. But I was done after I beat the game. So for my next prediction, I am predicting Z moves / terrestrialization in Pokemon Go. I don't know why Z moves are not in Pokemon Go, and the fact that they skipped over them makes me think they are not coming into the game. I saw some speculation that people were saying that Z moves would, break the game because like maybe you're battling a Pokemon and it's down to its last health. Your move or whatever is not recharged, so you just press the Z move and then you kill the Pokemon and then you can catch it. I could see that being a problem. I don't know how they would change that. Pokemon Go has changed stuff, so I mean they could just change how Z moves work, or make it rare, so like you catch a Pokemon and they have the potential to use a Z move, but you need to collect like crystals or something to use it. They could do something like that. It is, strange that Dynamax and Gigantamax are in the game, but Z moves are not. So I don't know about that one. I was thinking that terrestrialization will be coming at some point, probably in the next 2 years. I would say this year, but they're kind of slow with adding things to Pokemon Go. They could be like, hey, here's a shiny, hey, here's a Mega, hey, here's a Dynamax for Pokemon. Because, like, some Pokemon, every Pokemon's capable of Dynamaxing. Pokemon Go can probably introduce it first because not every Pokemon was in Sword and Shield, so that could be a big deal. They're adding Megas from Legends ZA already, so I don't know, but I would like to see Z moves in Pokemon Go. And terrestrialization, I think terrestrialization, it'll probably be like another spot on the map where you can encounter terrestrialized Pokemon, and maybe it'll be like something where you only use terrestrialized Pokemon against terrestrialized Pokemon, or just something where you only catch them on the spots. Because I believe to fight Dynamax Pokemon and Gigantamax Pokemon, you need Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon. But in Pokemon Go, not every Pokemon is capable of that. You have to catch a specific Pokemon to do that. But you can use the Gigantamax and Dynamax Pokemon in like gyms and battles and stuff, I believe. But it's a weird system. It's like some Pokemon are for this and some aren't for others. You know, I think just make it simple. Terrestrialized Pokemon can be used anywhere. It's probably not going to be like that, but it seems like terrestrialization is probably coming over Z moves because Z moves are not in the game yet. It would be cool if they did like alpha Pokemon from I think those are from Arceus, and whatever Sun and Moon had, the big Pokemon. I don't think those are in Pokemon Go, so there's still stuff to work with. I mean, they have Shadow Pokemon, for Pete's sake. Shadow Pokemon are a big part of Pokemon Go. If they have Shadow Pokemon, they can do something with, like, Alpha or whatever, the big Pokemon. They can do something with that. By the way, I remembered, I was talking about the Totem Pokemon from Sun and Moon. So I've never played this game, but I've heard good things about it. Pokemon Conquest. I don't know how well this game did, but you know, people received it positively, and it's Pokemon. It'll sell some copies, so maybe they could do a Pokemon Conquest 2 or some sort of Fire Emblem Pokemon crossover. I think that would be cool. Obviously, I know those are two different series, but I just think it would be cool if Pokemon and Fire Emblem kind of collabed, because Fire Emblem's kind of seen as like an anime sort of thing now. Pokemon is more so Pokemon, even though it is like, it has anime. It is anime. But I feel like it's kind of seen as its own thing. So it would be cool, like, let's say like Marth and Pikachu are together or something like that, like some sort of mechanic like that where you team up with a Pokemon. Each human has a Pokemon. There's some sort of war or something. I think it would be cool. But maybe that's the plot of Conquest. I don't know. So I think we'll get a release date for Pokemon Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness. Or they might be like, oh, they're out today. I don't think shadow drops are a good form of marketing, but some people think they're great forms of marketing. I don't. I think you should build up to things, but I'm expecting at least a release date. So Pokemon Champions, I think it's definitely time that we get information about this game. This game was announced last year, I believe, and they still haven't really said anything about it. So Pokemon Champions, we need some information. What's going on? Is there going to be Mega Evolution, Dynamax, Gigantamax, Terrestrialization, maybe even Shadow Pokemon? Is this all going to be within one game? How is this going to be formatted? Are we going to stick to just having Terrestrialization for this year? Or is everything going to be involved? I mean, we have Legends ZA. Are Mega Evolutions going to be back in this year's tournament format? Who knows? My friend and I were kind of hoping that, you know, Champions has some kind of like story mode. So, you know, more content would be cool instead of just like a battle simulator, you know, like having like an actual story. Maybe you could walk around and hang out with people or something like that. That would be cool. Pokemon Pokopia, this was not on my list, but the previews for this game have been like super positive. I'm not super into like the Animal Crossing, the Stardew Valley sort of games, but yeah, this game sounds good. I like Pokemon. I've said this before, but Pokemon is probably like the only way you'll get me to like consistently play something like this. So, you know, if they put out a demo on the eShop or in a store and I try it and I like it, I'll probably get the game at some point. Not for $70 because that's crazy, but I'd love to play it. And I'm thinking maybe there'll be some sort of DLC announcement or some sort of like early adopter announcement, like you get like Shiny Ditto or something for buying the game early, you know, something like that. So Pokemon Masters, I don't know what units they'll be announcing, but of course there will be new sync pairs. There's always new sync pairs. Hopefully these don't leak beforehand, but I'm pretty sure they will, because like whenever the game has like an update, people data mine it and they find information about it out there. It would be cool if Ash came back, or if they did like Ash Greninja, but for whatever reason, I don't know why a company would ever be set up like this, but like the rights, there's like a rights issue. That's what people are saying, like, because like Ash and Jesse and James have not returned to the game, but it would be cool if they did like Ash Greninja or something, or started just doing Ash and Charizard, Ash and Squirtle, Ash and Bulbasaur. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'm not really sure who they'd add. They try to do like popular characters getting like outfits and stuff like that, but it's not always like that, but some characters do have more outfits than others, but sometimes they like step out of the super popular characters and they try other ones. They just added new units for Brock and Misty. Pokemon TCG Pocket, I did fall off of this game. I hope to come back to it one day, but I'm sure they'll add in like a new set, they'll show it to you, they'll be like, hey, here's Megas from Legend ZA or something like that, and people will freak out. I don't really get like the love for this game. It's just a watered down version of the TCG. I guess is the artwork that people like, and they like that the game pushes you to open up packs. Like they make it seem like a big deal because you swipe and everything. So that's cool. I've fallen off. There's a lot of packs. They keep all the packs in the game too, which is awesome and consumer friendly, but if you got into the game now, there's definitely a lot of packs to choose from. And you only get to open up 2 free each day if you're a free-to-play player. So keep that in mind. It seems like for Pokemon Day, they try to do it big for Pokemon Unite. So I think they'll announce the next 3 Pokemon in the game. Maybe some sort of Mega Evolution from Legend ZA. Maybe they'll do like Victory Bell or something. I don't know. I like Pokemon Unite. I still play. One of my friends, he fell off of the game because he felt like they were charging too much. It was like, don't quote me on this, but it was like $40 or something for like a Ninetales skin or something like that. I know some people will stop playing games over that. I personally don't care. Like, just don't buy it. That's my opinion. But, some people feel more strongly about that and they want the studio to know. So, if that's your prerogative, go for it, I guess. I heard there's like some Chinese features because, like for whatever reason the game changes when it goes to a different country, or if it's more popular there, they add more stuff. There's like a Chinese version where you can like walk around and stuff and like play chess with people, like anime chess or whatever people call it. I think they should add that stuff. I don't see them adding this because I think I predicted this last year. I don't think it's coming, but it would be cool if they added stuff from the Chinese feature to Pokemon Unite, like the global one. I know, I think Pokemon Quest blew up there too. So like Quest has like a bunch of different Pokemon that we don't have here because people didn't really seem to like Quest. I guess it was successful enough to stay around in China, so they just keep it around everywhere. I guess that's how it works. Now, I watched someone else predict this, and it kind of made me think, but a new Pokemon movie, it's been years since the last Pokemon movie. I think they stopped making the movies, like, during COVID, because there used to be a Pokemon movie every single year, and for some reason, COVID, I guess, just messed things up, and then they just kind of gave up after that. Or, I don't know if it somehow ruined their production schedule, because some people say, like, Pokemon, they have a strict production schedule, so I don't know. It would be cool to get movies and stuff, and maybe like some of these mythical Pokemon would have gotten movies, like Pecharunt maybe could have gotten a movie, or who else have we had since then? For Legend ZA, maybe they could have done a movie, or for Arceus, maybe they could have done a movie. I don't know if the Jungle movie came out before Arceus. I can't remember. I can't remember everything. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments if they make it this far. So, it's the 30th anniversary. I would like this. I don't know how likely it is. I would like to see Ash return in some aspect. And I know, I guess, like, it would be relatively soon, because Ash got fired, like 2 years ago. I'm going to say 2 years ago that they got rid of Ash in the anime. I know, like, Liko and Roy getting their, like, they're in the spotlight now. I just think it would be cool to bring Ash back in some capacity. You could do specials with Ash. Some people have brought up just doing the movies with just Ash. I personally think they could have 2 anime series going on at the same time. You know, they could have the Ash anime, they could have the Liko and Roy anime, they could have the Adventures anime. It's Pokemon. They have plenty of money. I don't see why they couldn't do this. So, I would like to see Ash return in some sort of special or movie. Maybe have, like, Sarah Natachini do some sort of clip with Ash. Have some people from the anime talk about, like, the franchise or something like that. I don't love the 4Kids cast. I just don't like some of the voices. But, you know, those are the voices from the anime. So, it'd be cool to just bring them back, you know, for a special or something. Just like, hey, Pokemon, it's been 30 years. You know, it's a big part of my life, this and that. I'm guessing there will be no Detective Pikachu. I don't think the last game did well, so they have no reason to make another Detective Pikachu game. Maybe another movie would be cool, but with how the movie ended, like some people predict like another movie. No spoilers, but with how Detective Pikachu ended, there should not be a sequel, okay? If you want more Detective Pikachu, play the games. I haven't played Detective Pikachu. I probably said this on the channel numerous times. I haven't played it. The demo was extremely easy, so I did not want the game. I love Pokemon. I bought some of the spin-offs. I did not want this one. Too easy. I like Phoenix Wright. I like visual novels and stuff like that. Detective Pikachu was too easy. It makes you talk to every single person. And, yeah. If you want to make me talk to everyone, have more complicated mysteries. Maybe this was just a tutorial. I don't know. I didn't like it. Obviously, we just got a Legends game, so I don't expect the next Legends game until, like, 2 or 3 years from now. I think that would be like when we get the next Legends game. I know they did 2 Legends games on Switch, so I think it'll be a while. So we're coming up on the end here. I had a few more things that kind of came up. I know people predict like the Pokemon ports every year. I don't think they're coming, and I don't really see Pokemon ports coming unless they do more than just the originals. I think the Pokemon games are old enough to where they could at least do the first 3 or 4 generations. And, you know, you're probably like, whoa, that's crazy. The first 4 generations. We have Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I understand. Those games are already out. It's okay to re-release Diamond and Pearl, in my opinion. I don't think they're coming to the shop service, just because I've watched a lot of people and they've talked about it. On 3DS, you could buy red, blue, gold, silver, crystal. So I don't really see them putting. I don't see the games coming to a service where you're spending $30 or $50 a year, you know, just for a collection of games. You know, like, I think that Game Freak values Pokemon games and they understand that they can still get money out of them. I don't think they would go crazy with the prices. I could see red, blue, gold, silver, crystal being like $10 or $15 or something. Maybe for the 3rd generation they could be like $20 or something. I wouldn't buy the old games. I have them on 3DS. I think I started Red maybe, but if they were to put out like the older games, I get like Emerald or something. If they put out Generation 4, you know, I get Platinum. You know, I'd love to like revisit those games, but yeah, I mean that's how I see it. You know, if you're gonna like bring old games, bring some of the better ones. There's a rumor out there. I'm not gonna get into that, but I'm just saying, if they're going to do what that rumor says, I kind of got this idea from watching another video. They should bring over Heart Gold and Soul Silver. They should bring those over. For Generation 3, I don't think you need the remakes necessarily. I don't really like the remakes, so they could do the original Generation 3 games. But I think specifically for Generations 1 and 2, if they were to bring those over, maybe the remakes would be a better choice. For Generation 10, I think it might come to the Nintendo Switch 1 as well. And some people think that's kind of crazy, but I don't. I think if they want to make a lot of money, because I don't know how much the Switch 2 has sold. Is it like 40 million or like 30 million or something? There's still a lot of people on the original Nintendo Switch, and I would be curious to see like how many people bought Legend ZA on the original Nintendo Switch versus the new Nintendo Switch 2. I think you would cut off a lot of people by putting Generation 10 just on the Nintendo Switch 2. So I would like to see that on both consoles, and I don't think it would take away from the Nintendo Switch 2 version by putting it on Nintendo Switch 1. I played Legend ZA on Nintendo Switch. I thought it looked great, so, I don't see how that's hindering it in any way. And if it is, just get some help. It's okay to get help. So I feel like I have covered just about everything. There was one more thing I remembered, which something I just didn't think of. But last year they announced some claymation shorts by Aardman. So maybe there'll be more information about that. Maybe those are ready to go out, and maybe those will be released on the YouTube channel or released on Netflix or wherever they're going. So that's probably about the last thing that they could do. Maybe there's some sort of Pokemon Go collab with the anime or something. They could do that again. Just because Liko and Roy's Pokemon have evolved. Spoiler alert. So maybe we could see those in the game. But really, that's about it. I think I've covered about everything. I know there's a lot that Pokemon has going on. I didn't talk about Pokemon Cafe Mix, but I don't play that anymore. I still have the app. But, I'm sure there's new Pokemon coming to that. There's new Pokemon coming to Pokemon Sleep. I also don't play that. So yeah, what do you guys think is coming up on Pokemon Day? I did have another review set up to go before this, but that might take some time, and Pokemon Day is coming up soon, so this video might go out first. You will know if the video's out or not, so we'll see. Yeah, so tell me your predictions for Pokemon Day in the comments, and that's really about it. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you like my content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. The links are below. I'm Sirma11. See you next time, and peace out.